Welcome to the Man United Agenda. Yes. Another game, another bit of a disappointment, that's for sure, as well. We drew 3-3 in Porto with Porto. Might say it's a positive result, getting draw away from home. Might say disappointed. But let's find out from the panel and you guys in the comments as well. Welcome, Bath Time. How you doing, bro? Watched an exciting game.
Yeah, I'm very good, thanks. If I was a neutral, I would have loved that game. But I'm not a neutral, so I'm just, like, on the face of it, Yabba, 3-3 with a man down away from home in Europe sounds like a good result to me, an away point. But it was terrible. It was shocking. I'm so disappointed in what I've seen. I look at, like, how can you throw away a 2-goal lead?
Easily. We've done it before. Yeah.
And I feel that I'm at my wit's end with this team. I just don't like any of them at the moment.
Yeah. Well, we're going to talk about the positives and the negatives, most certainly. And I'm sure, Dora, by the look of your long face, there's going to be a lot of negatives coming from you tonight. Is that right?
Yeah, I look like Ruud van Nistelrooy with my long face. I became rude today. Yeah, I agree. It's like, for neutrals, this is entertaining, and all that. And for United fans, it's a torture. To me, it's a torture. Honestly, I'm just baffled with the way we play, with the way we are set up once again, and the mistakes. I mean, and again, everything that we talked about, before, the system and all that, but the mentality of those players when we concede. And then, as an icing of the cake, Bruno gets a red once again. So, yeah, we have a lot to discuss today. And honestly, on one side, I love talking to you guys, but on the other side, I'm not looking forward to this discussion. In all honesty, I'm just getting tired of it.
Well, it's going to be a short show today. We're not really, there's so much going on, but we're just going to compact in what we can about the game and the reaction to it as well. Because obviously it's been a tough week for the manager. Let's just go through a few comments first before we get into it. Iron Titanium saying here, Bruno begging to be benched. He's saying here, maybe, is there a carnival on in Porto or Portugal at the moment? I'm not sure. Kieran saying here, great defensive performance tonight. Villa won't know what's coming to them. Sarcasm here. A bit more sarcasm because Titanium saying we have a prime Maldini and Nesta at the back. Paul says we deserve better. Munzi, how you doing, Munzi? Go and check out his channel. He's saying, what a load of rubbish. Need a win. And he put 2 defenders on. Ten Hag out. So he's official. Ten Hag, Xerxes hopeless. Holland was brilliant. Okay, so contrasting views. Positive was Nana saved us again. This is the keeper everyone was trashing last year. Kieran saying every time Porto broke, we look disjointed on all levels. The midfield don't know what to do. The defense are clueless as well. Groundhog Day. Whoever comes in for Ten Hag needs to be special, says Munzi. Big G, how you doing? Martinez and Bruno have to be dropped. Garnacho needs to be less greedy and pass the ball. Phil for Holland. He doesn't get any great service. The tactics completely wrong for me. Always on the manager again. Casemiro and Ericsson should never play together. It doesn't learn. And finally, Chat Sport, how you doing? Says, look forward to the highlights. Okay, let's get into this. It's 3-3 game. Obviously, we tried to do the lineup yesterday, but didn't really get it right. This is a bit small, but you can see here, he started with Materazzi at right back, Dalot left back. All right, Bath Time. Give it a break. And obviously, De Ligt and Martinez, he's used to that. So that's 3 of that back 4 he's managed before. In midfield, it's interesting. Casemiro, Ericsson, and then ahead of them, you got Rashford on the left, Diallo on the right, Bruno Fernandes, and Holland. Holland started today. Any surprises with the lineup there?
Dora, you were quite surprised, weren't you?
Yeah, I said it. I talked with Mr. B. I know he's chasing results, but I am surprised he dropped Ugarte. First of all, because I felt like, he would. And I was surprised he dropped Maguire for De Ligt. I was very surprised because I cannot remember, and correct me if I'm wrong, I don't believe that Maguire had a bad game during our cup campaigns. I think against Twente he had a moment. But Eriksen, I think the whole team had a moment, right? Like today, for example, defensively. But I thought that he was one of the more stable center backs that we have this season. Hence why I just didn't understand the point of putting Matthijs de Ligt today with Martinez. I hoped he would drop Martinez, in all honesty, because he played a lot and he obviously didn't perform. But yeah, that was my surprise. Obviously, he values Eriksen because he was very good in previous games. Besides that mistake that he, the loose ball that he gave away against Twente. And Casemiro coming in, yeah, I am a bit surprised with Ugarte dropping. And yeah, and Zirkzee, he doesn't score goals, and he is a bit ineffective in the last few games, and he played a lot. Højlund needed games, so that wasn't that big of a deal. But yeah, I was surprised with some of the decisions in the end.
Okay, Martha, what do you think about the starting lineup? I thought experience. When I saw Casemiro, Eriksen, I thought, yeah, he's gone for experience. What are your thoughts on that?
That was my thought. Like when I was told that Casemiro was starting, it's very difficult to find a player more experienced in European football than Casemiro. I was surprised that Ahmad started, and I was surprised that Garnacho was on the bench.
That as well, yeah.
And I was surprised that Rasmus Højlund started. To be honest, but none of them were big surprises. Like when we tried to do the solo 11, it was quite difficult to think what you would stick out there. But he put a team out that I don't think is a bad team. And I think that there's enough. I thought there are enough decent players there.
Yeah, but all right. So we started quite poorly. I felt that they had a few chances early on, but then once we got our foot on the ball and started to play, we kind of dominated, and then we scored. I mean, the first goal by Rashford, seems Casemiro switched to play. Eriksen played it wide to Rashford. He was in a sort of one-on-one situation, and he just ran with the ball into traffic, but swerved his way through traffic and scored with the keeper making a bit of an error. But that was a good goal and a great start. Let's talk about that goal. Dora, you've usually watched the replays or have replays on hand. What do you think about the goal and Rashford? And isn't that a bit of a retribution for Rashford? He's been getting a lot of stick lately. What a great goal.
Yeah, I thought he had a good first half. Obviously, he went out because I think he got a knock or he was injured or something like that. He wouldn't get him out of the game at the halftime if he wasn't healthy. But I felt that I disagree with you on point that we dominated. Not necessarily with possession. I mean, Porto had most of the ball. They spammed those crosses non-stop from that right side. But what we did is expose them, and them sitting very high. Eriksen seems as the only one in the team currently that has brain cells when it comes to creativity. And he showcased him today. He gets it to Rashford, who does his diggly dangling thing or whatever how you say it, and he shoots it, and Costa makes a mistake. Very poor reaction from the goalkeeper. And yeah, I was a bit shocked because I predicted 1-0 Porto to be in the end, but I was very glad that my prediction went out of the window after 10-15 minutes. So yeah, it was a very good goal, and I hope that Rashford, I know Premier League defenders are much harder. They're more they're bigger, they're physical. Hopefully he's more direct and more determined in those situations like he was today for those goals.
We'll talk about the goal, bath time. Good first goal from Rashford. It was great to see him scoring like that again.
Yeah, it was. I did have a slight issue with it, though, which is kind of like it was the pass from Casemiro out to Mazraoui. It was in between him and and Amad Diallo. And if a fullback had stepped up there, we're in a world of problem. And it's something that happens again. And it's just such fine margins that we get that ball and then we score. Where if it get turned over by decent defensive play, we're on the back foot. But we get it. Eriksen pings it out very quickly to Rashford, and Rashford looked up for it tonight. Looked like he had fire in the tank. He went at his man. He hit a pretty poor shot, to be honest, and it trickled in.
Yeah.
It was a goalkeeping error, and I'll take that any day of the week. But it was a great start because I'm more on Dora's side than your side. I felt that we nearly conceded after 30 seconds. We had no control over the game at all. And then we got the best start imaginable. And we're in a great position to quiet that crowd, pass the ball around, take the sting out of the game and manage it. There's no better start in football than scoring in the first 5 minutes.
Yeah, and they were rattled after that. They were rattled, Porto players.
And then we went 2-0 up. I mean, just going back to the details here, can't remember the size. So we scored after 7 minutes. And then after 20 minutes, our boy, who started his first game of the season, Rasmus Højlund, our striker, £70 million. And let's talk us through the goal. Can you guys remember how he scored? Because I remember Ericsson running through the middle, kind of got a good touch, sort of ball bounced at the halfway line, and then Ericsson anticipated the touch of the guy and ran forwards and kind of laid it. Talk us through. Who remembers the goal?
Yeah, Diallo not just run in a straight line, go offside, and then Ericsson gives it out to Rashford, who squares his man out, plays a ball around the outside, and then Højlund hits a hard shot near. But to be honest, it's actually probably an own goal. It's a hard shot. It bounces off the keeper, hits his leg, and goes in. And it's another goalkeeper error. So happy day.
Yeah, happy days.
Well done, Rashford, for holding up the ball, slowing it up. Because at this point now that he's, respected, and they're worried about him, and they get a nice overlap, and he laid it off lovely. That's what you want to see. So Rashford definitely involved in both goals. Second goal, it's great to see Rasmus and Rashford score. They needed that for their confidence, and we're 2-0 up with that lovely move again. So what do you do in this situation, Bath time? You're 2-0 up. Is there anything you need to change, or do you just keep playing the way you're playing? Because we always anticipated that somehow we're going to throw it away, and we did.
Yeah.
What do you do before we can get to that stage? You go 2-0 up. Is it too early to make any kind of sort of in-game management changes to secure things up? Should you say, I'll just, for the next 10 minutes, just keep it secure? I mean, what do you say as a manager? What have you heard in that situation when you've been playing football? What should a manager be doing?
Well, we were always prepared for this. If you're 2-0 up after 25, 30 minutes away from home, it's transition time. Defend a bit deeper. Right, so defend a bit deeper. Don't take unnecessary risks. Try and get as many of them on yellow cards as possible, especially the forwards, because we used to play against pressing teams. So a yellow card in the first line of pressure is great stuff for you. But frustrate them a little bit. You know that they're going to commit extra men forward. All right, try looking for that goal. So you're going to have an extra man in your block, but keep in your shape, defend the center of the pitch, and have a threat on the break. That's what you do, and you just pick them off, because they're gonna they're not. Because the thing is, right, is that you don't really have to change what you're doing; they have to change what they're doing, right? So what you do is you basically try and bait them onto you by just dropping a little bit deeper and waiting for them to overcommit to make that error, and then you go, because you've got a 2-goal cushion. So you don't really need to do anything more in the game. It's about minimizing mistakes but still having a threat.
Do you want to say
what did you do?
That's great to hear that from you, Bath Time, because Flex Felix has also answered the question. Thank you. No one else has in the comments. But at 2-0 up, what do you do? Because everyone's blaming the manager for things, but Bath Time gave a great sort of example of what you should be doing in that situation. And Flex Felix is sort of reiterating that by saying that 2-0, keep possession, make them chase the ball and look to counter. Dora, did you see that happen?
No. No, look, this is the problem with these Ten Hag teams. If you look at it last season, this season, whenever we are in rare situations, 1-0, 2-0 up, you see that, the players and everything else is set up the same, right? You have, once again, high defenders, fullbacks are up the pitch, they're almost in the stands how high they are. You have the usual, midfielders and, you know, combining with, you know, the attackers and all that. And then when stuff happens, you are immediately vulnerable to counterattacks. This time, unfortunately, we lost the possession that we had at that moment in time. We gave them the ball, but again, BATHTIME mentioned it multiple times, the man marking thing. And what happened? Their fullback came from the I think right back. Is it João Mario? I'm not sure. Whoever, he came there once again. Rashford didn't track him, and he started spamming crosses all the time to the second post, because he realized that Mazraoui, they have very, very, very strong and, you know, as you said, you know, big players like Ganalo, the Brazilian guy, the striker, I forgot his name, even though he scored 2 goals, Samo, something like that. And they are a very, you know, they're a very handful bunch to, you know, and they realize that this is our vulnerability, right? We are not compact. We are once again, you know, man marking, and they just spammed the crosses until they scored that first goal, and then they did it again, and then they scored another. And to me, this is a huge. I know we will, you know, commentate on that as well, but it's okay if, you know, you kind of lose the possession and, you know, you drop back after, you know, scoring 2 goals, but you need to be in control. You need to be organized. And to me, it looked like, once again, these players don't know where to stand. They are very lost on where they should be. And I'm just seeing very poor organization once again from that defense, and it cost us.
Okay, so first goal, they can go on.
Sorry, Monday. Can I ask Dora a question? I agree with you that they were spamming crosses and that they were looking for Mazraoui in particular, like they were hanging balls up on him. Do you think that is because they identified a weakness in Mazraoui, or do you think it's that they identified a weakness in Rashford and Eriksen, who would allow them the space and time to get that cross in?
I think it's the latter, right? I think Rashford should go there. You know, Eriksen should, you know, keep an eye on those players, because he had acres of space and he obviously knows how to cross, you know, those, you know, how do you guys say it? Angled crosses, very sharp crosses that are very, with a spin on it, which are very hard to defend. I mean, OMONDI, you know, I mean, you are a defender. So it's very hard to handle that. And it doesn't matter if you are, you know, the world class, you know, with the player with your head, sometimes it will connect. If you spam it, you know, if you do it all the time, if you see that you have space, and sometimes, you know, you will, you know, do that, and you will, you know, do it, right? Your pass is going to, or cross is going to go through, and in the end, it will, you know, result in a goal or an assist or whatever. And in the end, that happened. I like Mazraoui maybe is not the best, you know, doesn't have the best header or whatever. It's not the strongest guy in the air. But these 2 players that you mentioned, Eriksen and what's his face, Rashford, on that left side of the defense, they should have been more compact there. They should have be aware that space, that they are too far from their players, their player, and that right back guy has acres of space in front of him, and that he's the danger, and no one addressed that. No one.
Okay. All right, let's talk about the goal. So we can break it down. Obviously, it's fresh in our minds. But the first goal, I don't think Rashford really trapped back as he should be. I think, but we said, what do you do at 2-0 down? And you get numbers behind the ball, you keep it compact, and you hit them on the break. Rashford should have got back ball side, you know, or goal side of the play, and he wasn't. And they played it around on the right-hand side. They got some of those deliveries were really good, to be fair. And they whipped in a lovely cross into that corridor of uncertainty. And I felt that Martinez was just sleeping because Pepe went and scored the goal. So Martinez has come over to the left-hand side to see what's going on. Can he pick up anyone? Can he deal with something? But as soon as the ball gets switched over, he's standing and watching, and Pepe just comes on his blind side, gets there in front of him. And I think that's a few errors there. Rashford, I think, and obviously the ball's gone to the back post with Mazraoui. I'm getting bun for that. And then sleeping. I think Martinez is sleeping. And not just that, you look at the 2 goals, the second goal as well, you could blame him for looking slow and sluggish. So Martinez has got a lot to answer for. Will people get on Martinez back the way they do with Maguire? I don't know, because he's a fan favourite and he's a butcher. He's got a reputation where people don't really ignore things like that. But we're here to call it out, and I'm here to call it out because you know me, I love Maguire, and we'll talk about that later. But I want the same treatment for everyone. Martinez, for me, as a defender, was slack. And if I was one of the defenders around him, I would be stringing him up. He's not that tough. He needs to get told. That was out of order.
Yeah, but we've been calling out Martinez I've been calling him out for about 6 months, to be honest. So I don't think he's a very good defender. I think he's an actor above all. He's a kid-on footballer, like pretending to be a hard man, going out there, nasty fouls that aren't necessary, constantly out of position, constantly getting destroyed in wide areas. Like, the one thing that he's meant to be good at is sticking to his man in the box. Even when the cross is played in, he's like going on walkabout. But what I would like to know is, I'm not a goalkeeper. I never really comment on goalkeepers' saves. But was that a bad save from Onana to put it in that area? I've heard a few people say it. Sorry?
It's a reactionary save. He's gone over. Ball switch, he's gone over there, planted his feet. The ball's gone. It's like it's going in, and he's had to sort of get a hand out to it. I don't see what else he could do with the ball there.
But I don't know. I don't know if you can turn that over the bar or whatever. It's something that I think is brought up. I personally think it's a great save from Mazraoui, of all people. I think it's a great save, but it does go into an area which is problematic. But I thought
that's why they say always head across the goal.
Put it back where it came from.
Yeah. But Dora and BATHTIME, myself, we all agree that Rashford maybe should have been in position better to close down, and then Martinez was sleeping.
I know Andrew is mentioning the law. Was the law supposed to be there as well? Because there was, I don't know, is that a second goal or what? I'm not sure.
Why's a right back going to go and mark a right back?
He's a left back.
Why's a left back going to go and mark a right back?
That's my
question. If Delot can't get that far forward because he's not a wing back, he's a full back. So like Delot has to kind of like remain in his shape there. That for me, I think that Rashford, I'm just playing it back in my mind. I think Rashford is a bit lazy and is terrible in the press and has allowed the pass through. And a midfielder has got to be out closing that space. And I think the left-hand side of the midfield was Eriksen. And I think he's a little bit too far forwards. And he should know better. But the thing is that stuff like that can happen once in a game, right? Because they have to do something different. So they're like, their players are attacking spaces and so on. And that's not just strikers, that's everyone on the team. So it happens once, fine. Second time, you've got to come up with a solution as a team. And I think he put, 3 or 4 in the space of 10 minutes. Yeah. Like, someone has, like, I don't care if it's Rude or if it's Casemiro or if it's Ten Hag. Someone has got to get the change has got to make a change to protect that area because they've got a plan. They've got a plan to score, and we're letting them execute that plan. It's dreadful.
Yeah.
So going on to the second goal, obviously Dave scored. We're 2-0 up after 20 minutes. Dave come back after 27 minutes and scored. And then big old Samo. He looked like a bit of a problem for the 2 defenders, especially Martinez. But he came and scored a goal. Martinez again looked really sluggish. Pepe just knocked the ball past him and ran. And Martinez was struggling. And I just think that's terrible.
That's the third goal, isn't it?
Was that the third? Oh, sorry, you're right. That is the third goal. Yeah, you're right. All right, let's go back to the second goal. Remind me.
Right, so the second goal is a ball gets played in from the right-hand side. What a surprise. And De Ligt looks odds-on favourite to get it.
Oh, yeah.
And Samu or Shamu or whatever he's called, Brian Ormondroyd, comes in and just gets across him with a thumping header. And it's... I remember when we signed De Ligt, I thought a lot of people questioned De Ligt's defending. Like Andrew mentioned it. I think Paul Scholes mentioned it. Loads of people said that he's not a great upgrade on Maguire. And I thought that De Ligt was a player that maybe gets found out in the semi-finals of a Champions League against an Mbappe or something, like a little bit too slow, little bit poorly positioned. But he has to win that header. I know Harry Maguire gets that header, but he doesn't.
Do you know where he went wrong, in my opinion?
Yeah, tell me.
He was blindsided because he's watched him. The guy went sort of to his left-hand side. He looked, thought, right, he's there. Then he had to look at the ball. And then by the time he's looking at the ball, the guy's come in front of him to the right-hand side. Good movement. Give the guy credit. It was good movement.
Yeah, it's a brilliant goal.
And even though De Ligt did try to cover that, it was just too late, and it was a really good finish. I know you've been critical, but I just think sometimes you have to be looking at the man, the ball, and the play at the same time. It's very difficult. I'm in the defenders union. I think it's very difficult, and I think the movement was so good from a big man that everything combined was just too much for De Ligt in that situation.
Yeah, but this is the problem that I have, Yabba, is that if that is the semi-final of a Champions League against the elite players in Europe, then I can live with something like that. Perfect example. If it's Giroud, who I think is a great striker in knockouts of the World Cup or something, then yeah, this is where the quality players are gonna make their mark. This is the group stage of the Europa League, and De Ligt is getting done like that. It concerns me a lot because he gets done on the third one as well. And this chap looks like a great striker. I'd absolutely love him at the club, but I'm now really worried about De Ligt because he's not winning 1v1s that he should be winning for me. So what can he do better?
I think it's 50-50. Dora, I don't know what you think, but you see the image there. Both centre-backs are disappointed. Martez knows he got, he was in trouble for the first goal. And De Ligt maybe is disappointed, as Bathtime saying there. He knows he got beat there with a bit of good movement, and the guy got there first in the box. So a fox in the box, this guy, as well as being what he looks like 6'10" or something like that. But
what can he do? What can De Ligt do to stop that? Yeah, but
I think he positions himself where he can see the man, if he can, to see the man and the ball at the same time. But he's looking at the ball and looking at the play. He had a look and he had a quick look at the guy. But by the time he turned to look at the play again, the guy's moved, seen him look at him and said, right, you think I'm going behind you? I'm going to get in front of you. And that was great movement. Sometimes there's nothing you can do about that, but applaud it.
So you think that's an unstoppable goal?
It's stoppable if you can read. As a defender, can you do three things at one time? Multitask. Look sideways on. Look at your man. Look at the play. Look where the ball's coming across and cover the area of the danger. That's a lot to do. And unfortunately,
yeah, but that's their job. That's what you have to do. That's what you have to do all the time.
I know, but when you got good movement like that, you have to give credit to the guy, the striker who scored.
Yeah, but that's why I'm asking: is that an unstoppable goal? If that is
not
Rio, Vidic,
you can learn from that. You can learn from that and say, right, what could I have done better? And I'm saying there, you should be looking at the man at all times, even be touch tight to him or whatever, but don't let him get that little yard in you by that movement. It's a nice little movement in my opinion. But De Ligt, he's just started at the club. We can't say he's not experienced. He's obviously played at a high level for a long time now. And look at him in this image. He looks like he's being patted on the head, but he's vexed. He knows he got done. That's why I think that's why he's clapping the floor like that.
Do you not think that he knows he's made a mistake?
No, yeah, but he knows he got done. That's my point. He got done there by a good movement, and that's why he's vexed. Dora,
I'm still confused. I'm still confused about what you're telling me here about how he can defend that better. The guy's come across him and made first contact with the ball. Has De Ligt not given himself enough space to go and meet that ball? Is he not aggressive enough in the contact?
De Ligt had a look at where he was, and De Ligt's realised, he's on my left side, he's behind me. So he's making that run. That's what he thought. So when he went to turn to look at the play, that's when the guy said, you think I'm behind you? I'm going to make the run in front of you. And it was just a split-second thing where De Ligt took his eye off the man and the ball got in front of him, and suddenly he couldn't do anything about it.
But shouldn't he be going for the ball there, regardless of where the man is?
He tried to go for the ball, but the guy got there first.
So the other guy's just got more hunger there, and De Ligt is just a bit too slow. in this instance to make first contact.
Good movement from the striker. I'm just going to give him credit. It's more great movement from the striker than the defensive error. Because I think De Ligt did look, not that he didn't see him, he did look first of all, then he looked at the play, and then in a split second, when he went to try to get there first, he realised, the guy's got there before me, and that's why he's upset. Trust me, I think that's the reason why. Should we go into the half-time? So we got to half-time now, it's 2-2. Obviously, the crowd are back in it. You know, I thought we could hold on and get a clean sheet, but no, it didn't happen. We're going to go to half-time, but before we do, just going to go through a few comments. Big up to Matty. He's saying here, it won't be long before you Google the word lazy and see a picture of Rashford, as you can see there. More comments flying through. At 2-1, says Tyrone, and Anna made a great save. Stop us going 3-1 down. He was 3-1 down? We wouldn't be 3-1. At 2, I don't know. He was brilliant tonight. Take it back. She's basically saying Anana's brilliant. Spot on bath time, says Tyrone. Genuinely don't think rate Martinez. I would sell him tomorrow. Big G saying here, why can't our players cross the ball like their players did? That's why the tactics is wrong. The inverted wingers BS. Trying to walk the ball into the net is nonsense. Talk about Anana. I ain't going to put one on Anana, says Andrew Williams. He said he had a habit of spilling it in dangerous areas. Guys, keep the comments coming through. I mean, look, we get to half-time and it's 2-2. It's a bit deflating, isn't it? But we're still in the game. I just want to say big up to Jeff as well. He's in the house. So this guy's a problem. 2-2. We have to think about how we start the second half. Now, I asked you the question, Dora, at 2-0 down. Sorry, 2-0 up, what to do. We go to 2-2. What would you be telling the guys for the first 5 minutes when we come out on the pitch?
Well, first of all, don't concede goals. Don't concede goal. 10 minutes. Or 5 minutes after the beginning of the second half. I think it. There is. Okay, I know this will sound very funny. Listen, to me, it will sound funny because there is that in Football Manager there is a conversation where you as a manager can talk with the press, and when they tell you, oh, you considered a goal just after the second half, how did you feel after that, and you can answer, well, I needed to throw my my instructions out of the window because that happened, but we tried to adapt, and in the something like that. And that's a huge, red flag, for any team. It doesn't matter in any sports when your team is essentially, once again on back foot, just a few minutes after the beginning of the half. Again, the way we are set up, if I remember correctly, we were set up pretty poorly. I think some of the players lost the ball. Porto were kind of, passing it, and then suddenly, I don't know if this is their right center back or right back. He sent the ball through the middle to their defensive midfielder. I think he's Estupiñán, something like that he's called. And he saw runners. And to me, once again, Lisandro Martinez is in a no man's land. Once again, him and Diogo Dalot. Unfortunately, I just feel like, this is where, the mess kind of, started, it kind of went to the pinnacle of things when it comes to our defending. I think Pepe, once again, their first goal scorer, was all alone. Martinez tried to wrestle him. He couldn't do it because he's too slow and too weak. He sends the ball across the box. The league doesn't mark Samu really well. Perfect pass, by the way, and perfect finish. I think this was a very, very hard shot to stop because, and Onana kind of went in. He was kind of down on his back foot. He was already down, and the guy just, he put it, just. Off the roof of the net, and poor defending once again. We were done by two passes. We're
going to call out Martinez again. I don't think he's getting enough call out here. Disgraceful as a centre back. We saw it against Fulham when the fastest guy in football burst past him. We could forgive him for that. This is unforgivable. As a defender, you've got to give yourself a few yards, peel off, so you don't get burnt for pace like that. And he did. He looked really slow and sluggish, and the guy had to cross him. As Dora just mentioned there about the third goal. They've gone 3-2 up, and we got a head in the hands. And big up to Mr. B with a watch along as well. Bath time. Why was Rashford taken off? What do you think is going on there? Because he's played really well in the first half, as in got a goal and assist, and he's come out in the second half, and Garnacho's playing. Let's just look at these comments here. There's a few comments about why. I think Ten Hag come out and said. Andrew said here, Ten Hag suggesting he took Rashford off as part of the squad rotation. Don't judge us at this moment. Judge us at the end of the season. If he's there at the end of the season. And just seen a post-match from Hag. Is he asking to be sacked? Rashford was taken off half-time for rotation. That's what he's saying. Do you agree with that? Because everyone was saying it should be injury. You don't take a play off when he's hot.
I mean, he's done some weird stuff with Rashford this season. Rashford gets into form, and then did he drop him against Palace? Was it the Palace game that he dropped him?
I think so.
Yeah. Rashford's like... I sometimes wonder if Rashford might have turned a corner this season. He's creating a lot of chances for others, got a slightly better use of the ball. But I wonder if Ten Hag is pretty much blaming Rashford for letting their right back get all those crosses in. Right. And that's why he's been taking him off. But the guy got a goal and an assist, and I think that that's pretty good for the first half of football. He also did like one of those Ollie runs, like when Ollie was the manager. Remember, Rashford would just beat like 4 or 5 players. Like, yeah. I think he put Lewis Dunk on his ass twice against Brighton once. Yeah. With that, like, and we saw that again tonight. Rashford just whipping about in the box. Great stuff. I just don't understand Erik Ten Hag. I'm going to be honest. I don't know if he lies, if this is what he believes. But I mean, Garnacho, I thought, was probably our best player in the second half overall, just on the basis that he showed some intent that he wanted to score. But do you not agree?
Yeah. I think he looked alive. When I say alive, I mean he looked alive, like he wanted to do something. So yeah, fair enough. And I thought Anthony tried to do something as well. But let's move this on and just wrap this up, because the major talking point while we're 3-2 down is this right here. 2 yellow cards. He's never been sent off for United before at the weekend. Sent off against Spurs. What's going on here? Guys, is there any arguing here? Do we need to debate this? Is it going to be rescinded?
2 yellows.
2 yellows, yeah?
Yeah.
Dora?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, he has a yellow. He's been reckless throughout the whole game with his starts on Porto players. And, Porto players try to sell it in most cases, but some of those fouls were very, 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 they were very harsh. And this is just unnecessary. Like, I get it, Bruno. You want to score a goal. You want your team to win, but you need to keep it to yourself. Keep it to yourself. You need to chill, and you need to be focused and determined and, level-headed, because this is not how captain is supposed to act, in my opinion. And he does, like, this is this is a yellow card. If he doesn't have a yellow card, he gets a yellow. But since he had it, he gets a yellow once again, and that's a red card. And I don't know what I'm seeing online that people are arguing. Trust me, this is not going to get appealed. Even if we send it, they're not going to take
there's
it
no
into
argument
account.
about this.
No freaking way.
Okay. I think it's 2 yellows. Sometimes they're questionable, and there's 2 things here. Andrew makes some good points here, Bath time, saying 2 things with this. Centre back got him sent off for rolling around probably. And why didn't he head it? Do you want to challenge those points?
No. I mean, like, I don't think he can head it. And I think that Bruno is going to play the ball, but it's a brain-dead decision. Like, he's a professional footballer playing away from home in Europe against Portuguese players. He's Portuguese. He knows that one of the points that is going to be mentioned in the Porto halftime team talk is get at Bruno. Like, it's on a yellow. He's petulant and a bit. We can get him sent off. And Bruno needs to not do stuff like this. I mean, like, Roy Keane was a madman essentially as captain. I don't think he got sent off twice in 1 week ever.
Yeah.
Like,
and also, oh, sorry,
yeah.
finish.
No, you finish me off, Dora.
Okay. I will not continue after that joke, by the way. No, I wanted to say, how did you feel about Bruno's performance overall before the red card? I believe he was awful once again. And I know, Bathtyme, you're going to say, oh, but he is our catalyst. Every single time he attempted a pass that would, that would be dangerous for the other's goal, the Porto player read him like a book. And to me, that has been happening a lot this season. He's getting less and less effective, and I think it's time to get benched, in all honesty. And these two reds, I know this one before got appealed. In the end, it turned out that Pigeonhole and English refs are a joke. Yeah, it got appealed.
Pigeon.
Yeah. GMO.
Oh, right. Mine.
Sorry. I'm trying to talk a bit faster. I don't know. But yeah, and it got appealed. But once again, you are too reckless, and he gets sent off once again, and it's
giving refs opportunities to send him off. Is the thing. Like, in terms of like Bruno's performance, I mean, there were two catalysts I felt on the pitch tonight. One was Rashford and one was Eriksen, and they were working together as catalytic converters, because Eriksen, he gets the ball, he takes a touch, he looks about, sees what's going on, passes it, shuttles about. But tonight, every time he got it, it was bang it to Rashford, and then Rashford was going. But Bruno was sort of playing on the right-hand side with Ahmad, and they were both just slow, ineffective. They look. I mean, Bruno hasn't played well this season. There's no doubt about it, and him getting sent off a lot isn't really helping. But I think you're right, Dora. He's not affecting the game enough, and I always look at like Kevin De Bruyne, who he doesn't get anywhere near the amount of ball that you think he would for Manchester City. But when he gets it, they're in a position, for him to lose the ball. Like, everyone is set up with a good rest defence to be able to lose the ball. And he's either applying the finish, or he's applying the touch, or he's shooting from long range. And it's a brilliant use of him, and it saves his legs and so on. Bruno, when he gets the ball, I don't really know what he's doing anymore. I mean, he took a decent shot, I think, in the first half, maybe. But no through balls, nothing. And it's very worrying, because I don't know if you watched on TNT, Dora, where we had a very raspy Robbie Savage tonight.
No, I watched the Croatian broadcast, so I didn't see that.
Well, one of the points Robbie Savage brought up in the second half, which I thought was really, really good, was he was talking about the 25-meter rule, which is basically it's a quarter of the pitch, and top teams want to get the other team in jail in that 25 meters. So that's the distance in the centre forward and the centre back. When I talk about City are well set up to lose the ball when De Bruyne gets it, it's because they're within that 25 meters and that they've got all their spaces covered. Tonight, the distance with De Ligt, Martinez, and Mazraoui, who appears to be addicted to playing people onside at the moment, the really worrying part of his game, the distances were so big that I wonder. I'm not going to be kind to Bruno. I was going to say, I wonder if Bruno is aware of this and isn't playing balls because of it. But it's Bruno Fernandes. He doesn't give a shit. He just play the ball anyway. But yeah, he's been poor. I'd like him out of the team, to be honest.
We need to wrap things up, guys. So let's just move on really quickly now. So it's a bad situation. Just to touch on the red card, because there's a few comments about that I haven't read yet. Tyrone said it was a second yellow, but Bruno was only looking at the ball. Referee should have given him the benefit of the doubt. Fernandes was stupid, though. And I've got a comment from our referee, Jeff, is saying here, Bruno's passing was garbage. Watched the whole match, very disappointed. Should have taken the Saudi money. Jeff also mentioned something earlier about Bruno with the decision. Oh, here we go. Yeah, this is what I was looking for. regarding 2 yellow cards, if there's any doubt, I mean, Jeff's a referee. He says yes, legit dangerous play with a high boot. Don't have to have contact. Second yellow card. Should have tried to head the ball. So that Andrew was saying as well. So that's the Bruno incident. But we're 3-2 down after being 2-0 up, and this is worries. What conversation here between Ruud and Ten Hag with 54 minutes gone? How do we get back in the game? I thought the subs did change the game because obviously Maguire's come on and scored. We obviously Rashford has come off the pitch. Maybe that's for squad rotation. Maybe it's for not doing something. Maybe it's tactical. But there's the brains frowning right there. There's his assistant. As Benny McCarthy said, the brains, the tactical guy. Okay. There's his assistant. They've made changes. We know what the changes were. Anthony's come on the pitch. Evans, Maguire for the 2 centre backs. We have to try to get back into this game. Cannot afford to lose. And then this guy steps up.
He didn't seem very happy, OMONDI, scoring, did he?
Who? Maguire?
Harry, yeah. I thought that he might. Do you remember he used to do these sort of he used to do celebrations, but it looked like he was a bit self-conscious. I remember at Leeds he did a knee slide and cupped his ears, and he did it for England as well, and all this sort of stuff.
Against Albania.
Yeah. Yeah. But here he didn't I was surprised by his reaction. He also nearly scored the greatest own goal I've ever seen in my life, and I was very worried that Onana wasn't going to control that ball when Maguire knocked it back from 45 yards. But shout out to Onana, he did well tonight. But when Maguire came on Monday, my thoughts were, we've got to start winning free kicks. He was our route into the game. Him and Evans were the only way we were going to score a goal tonight, unless possibly a deflected Garnacho goal. And it's great. It's a Christian Eriksen corner.
Yeah.
It was a great header. He made that player look like a child. And yeah, I'm really pleased because I think it was probably really undeserved, and it just keeps us hanging on in this group, undefeated in the UEFA Champions League.
We're 3-3 at the end of the game. We know Maguire scored. Happy for him. Happy for Man United. We didn't lose. But let's just look at some data here, because at the start of the show, Dora, BATHTIME said he's disappointed. But you go away to Porto, we would have taken this before the game. We've had 29 shots to their 14 and 53% possession. Have we played better than them? Are we a better side than them?
I don't think that's correct, Yabo. On the commentary, they said that Porto had taken 25 shots.
I heard that as well. And when I saw the data, I thought, okay, it doesn't look that way.
I think it's probably the other way round.
Okay, so maybe that is. No, I heard that before. And when I went to the data, I went to get the data.
John, I'll have a check for you.
Yeah, have a check, someone, about the shots and all that. But is it a fair result, Dora? Can we walk away, go into Aston Villa now? We just beat Bayern Munich for the second time, 1-0. Last time was in the final in '82. Are you confident now? Have you seen anything to be positive about going into the next game?
I don't know what to say to you, Monty. In all honesty, I am absolutely, I don't know. I'm confused, right? I'm confused. I am baffled. I don't know what to expect. I don't know. It all depends on if the manager is going to stay. But I don't believe. In the end, it was a good result, right? We were men down. We were chasing a result.
Dora, we're 2-0 up. That's a positive. Obviously, we've thrown it away, but we're 3-2 down. We show character to come back and get a point. So there's. I know how you feel.
I know what you're trying to do. Yeah. I mean, it's a positive to see that Rashford was direct, that he was very hungry today, which, I mean, we need him, right? But, the negative is, again, defending and the mentality after conceding goals. And to me, that is a huge issue, right? Not just from the manager and the way they and his coaches, the way they set up this team. It's the mentality of the players that, it's like they are sometimes scared and very cautious in the way they play, or maybe too reckless because they're trying too much, and in the end they make mistakes and concede. But honestly, if we continue to play steadily after 2-0, I would say we deserve the win, right? If we played like that throughout the whole game, Porto would have deserve win. But this draw has left a very sour taste in my mouth, unfortunately, because we had it in our hands and we threw it away after 30 minutes or so.
Most certainly. Well said. All right, so that's it. We've. I don't know about the data here. Is that right or not? Did we have?
It's the wrong way around. It
is the wrong way around. 100%.
Yeah. They had 29 shots.
Okay, to our 14. All right. Well, I was trying to put positive on it, and that's probably not. So I'm going to take that off right now. All right. So, I want to say thank you to Mr. B for delivering another watch along. I saw his reaction when Bruno got sent off, and then I saw his reaction when Maguire scored as well. He's a bit like that, a bit like, yeah, some good, some bad, but overall, still a lot of question marks and about the future of Ten Hag. And big up to POTUS is in the house saying Ten Hag out as well. So yeah, I don't know how you guys feel. It probably hasn't changed anyone's mind, but it's still under pressure, and we keep it moving, don't we? Sunday we're going to Villa Park, and that's going to be woo. Game. All right, guys. Bath time. Anything to sign out with apart from Lakatosh? Oh,
Lakanoch, you mean?
Lakanoch, yeah. Anything else you want to end with before we sign out that we haven't talked about during this game? Because we're going to lock it up now.
Not really. Both Andrew and Tyrone are saying that I'm wrong. Like maybe I'm wrong about these stats. I just looked at. I've saved it. I can show it, but the first thing that I looked at said we had 29 shots conceded against us.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, I'm very disappointed, Yabba. I don't trust this team. I don't like a lot of the players. I've got huge question marks over a lot of the people that have been brought in, like Joshua Zirkzee tonight in an anonymous performance, like Mazraoui playing everyone on side all the time, like Delict. Sorry?
He's new.
Yeah, but Wan-Bissaka used to do this a lot as well. I remember he played Anthony Gordon on side twice, again for Newcastle, and I wonder if that's a system error. I want to know why these players that are decent players are playing like this, because it's just shocking, and I'm upset.
Okay, just to clarify, we had 29 shots. Lucky Singh is saying here, defense shape. I want shut down Casemiro, Ugarte, Kulia, Mazraoui, Diego Della. Okay, you can see there. It should start. These players should start. Darius, you're wrong. It was correct, apparently. We don't know. But the bottom line is, guys, the bottom line is Harry Maguire saved our
yeah.
And he scored at the right time. What a way. It's a really exciting game for the neutral. For us, it's a typical thing where we can't keep a lead. We've thrown it away. But we showed a bit of character to come back, and we got the point at the end of the day.
So one last thing, Yabba, before we go. Do you think this result changes nothing to Ten Hag's position, makes him less secure or more secure?
I think it makes him more secure. The reason why is because you going away to Porto, you get a result. Forget about what happened and why it happened. We had 10 men and we came back. Do you understand what I'm saying? So that's a good, positive thing.
We had 11 men and we threw it away.
Porto in the previous round lost against a 10-men team. I can't even pronounce their name. Do you understand what I'm saying? So the only thing is, going into the weekend against a vibrant Villa, it's a big game. It goes there. But at least it gives us some confidence to say, all right, if you're on the plane or if you want to be a positive person, you say, guys, we had 10 men, we got back in the game, well done. Or we went 2-0 up, but to make things more secure, next time we do A, B, and C. It's a learning stage for everybody. And the other thing I'd say is this: Ten Hag's job, it seems secure. Apparently, people are saying that he's getting the impression that he thinks he's safe. But when I'm looking at it, and we study every game on this channel, like most people watch most games, it's player errors. Martinez today, De Ligt today, Rashford today. It's player errors. The manager, I don't think the manager has much to do with that. You could say, well, it's the manager's responsibility, but you can't have have these players.
Yeah, but he's picking them.
You know, like a Sabutio or something. He's giving them instructions. They're not delivering it. So the players have to take responsibility sometimes.
Yeah, but he picks the players. He picks them. Like Martinez has been dreadful for.
Well, Martinez needs to be dropped, in my opinion.
Yeah,
forget about having a left foot, whatever. He needs to be dropped because he's been, you know, the things he's been doing have been so shocking that I'm surprised there isn't a petition to get him out of the team like there was with Maguire. Maguire's come up and saved the day. There's the contrast, guys, and it's really funny with fickle fans as well. I'm going to say this now because I'm a bit disappointed. But the Martinez Maguire thing. Hold on, why aren't you getting on Maguire? Who in the chat said anything negative about Martinez today? Not many
Big
people.
G.
But right, well done, Big G. But if that was Maguire, oh my God, it would be uproar right now.
No, about one day.
It'd be 20. And the other, and then the other thing is saying about Wan-Bissaka. Oh God, Wan-Bissaka wouldn't do that. It's like, God, these guys are gone. And I heard someone say, "Oh, Donny van de Beek scored yesterday in the Champions League." I'm like, come on, let's just deal with what we got to deal with. The players that we have at the club right now, and try to get them to improve the stupid mistakes they're making right now. You know, I don't want to see, oh, let's bring up Brian Robson, let's bring up Roy Keane would do it. I can't take all that, man. You know? Yeah,
but I think like you're being unfair to the people in the chat and this channel, because I genuinely believe that this channel has been pretty anti-Martinez for a while. Like myself and Dora have been. I know We Deserve Better has talked about Martinez a lot. I know that Andrew said that he hasn't played particularly well. I know Big G has said it. I think a lot of people here like have actually been pretty fair about Martinez.
Case, I apologise. I haven't seen, you know, but I will say this. I think we need to back our team and big up to all the players that got back into the game today and got a result for us in the end, because it could have been a lot worse.
And Maguire to start as captain on Sunday.
Well,
one last roll of the dice.
Not from me, no. But what is from me? How do you say it again, Dora? Let's say the peace outside. What do you say? Lacunosh.
Guys, enjoy your evening, and I wish you all lacunosh.
Lacunosh from me.
Lacunosh.